help educate our guys with, and also allow them to reap the benefits of what their brand is in the current state.
Mike McKenzie joked a little bit earlier today when I asked about your guys' experience at UCF. He said he's probably tired of talking about what you guys went through. What was something that stuck in your mind when you saw McKenzie's name in the transfer portal and your past experience in dealing with him?
Just the competitor. I mean, it's. We try not to talk about it because I won't let him talk about it because it didn't go my way very much against him. But he's just the ultimate competitor and a guy that you knew would always put his football team in a position to achieve success. And it's who he is, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to coach with him and to coach him. And it's exciting to see just that ownership he has in our program, and you're trying to go out there and make the most of his opportunity.
I like that. You also had a relationship with Gus Malzahn in Tulsa. What you remember of Gus and what Gus has been able to do?
Gus and I still have a relationship. It's great, and he provided me with an opportunity, and I'm forever grateful for him. You learned so much under him in those years at Tulsa, and stayed in touch throughout our years in coaching. Just a great man. Great coach, excited for the opportunity he has at UCF and what he's going to do with that program to continue to grow. And forever grateful for him. And we still talk. We talked last week and just being able to be a sounding board together.
You guys talk about possibly playing each other. I mean, now that
we haven't got to that point in the conversation yet.
They said they'll play in a parking lot, so you might want to take that up.
Like that Memphis team of yours that went to the Cotton Bowl would have been in a 12-team playoff. So, given that experience, do you like the notion of an expanded playoff and greater access?
There's a lot of individual things that you could look at to any potential change, but I think you got to look at it with a holistic approach and making sure that as we get the research and the different options and possibilities of what that can mean. And you can find a positive in probably any situation for something that individually has happened to you. But is it what's best for college football? Is it what's best for the student athlete? And I think as we talked about that reimagination of what college football is going to be, it's something that we do need to sit back and be able to collect the information, make sure that we're making the wisest choice for what the future of our sport is going to be. And I'm excited about where that can go.
Coach Norvell, how important is it going into year two to gain this momentum this season and take that momentum and use it on the recruiting trail in 2022?
I think momentum is something that can go a lot of different ways. But for us, it's about establishing the foundation of who we are, the identity of what our program stands for, building upon those values, and that's what's going to sustain itself. And there's teams that have short-term success that are not able to continue that, and we're looking to build our program the right way. We're looking to build our program through work, through relationships, and making sure that we're finding the right fits for Florida State, because we will get this program back to where it deserves to be, and when we get there, we're going to stay there because of the foundational elements and those values of who we are and what we're all about. And so I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about where we are, but also the steps that are ahead. I'm not going to put any limits to what this team can accomplish, but I'm sure grateful for every experience that we get to be able to work through together.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You don't want to always have to rely on the transfer portal this offseason going forward, but I guess how much have you been validated by how committed you were to it and the guys who have gotten out of it? We have two of them here. I know a number of other guys that you've really been impressed by since they got on campus.
It fit the opportunity of what we were looking for. And you have the youngest team in college football. A lot of our guys have not seen or been able to have those leaders in the locker room that of what it takes, of the consistency that's necessary. We've had some great players that have come through, and we've got guys that have really had to figure things out through their own experience. But to be able to add to that competition, to be able to bring some of that veteran leadership in, some of the production that has come through the door, I'm excited about. But gelling those relationships, seeing those guys elevate each other, that's that's what's going to be key in our development as a program as well. I'm excited about where that can go.
Coach Norvell, how important is it going into year 2 to gain this momentum this season and take that momentum and use it on the recruiting trail in 2022?
I think momentum is something that can go a lot of different ways. But for us, it's about establishing the foundation of who we are, the identity of what our program stands for, building upon those values, and that's what's going to sustain itself. And there's teams that have short-term success that that are not able to continue that, and we're looking to build our program the right way. We're looking to build our program through work, through relationships, and making sure that we're finding the right fits for Florida State, because we will get this program back to where it deserves to be, and when we get there, we're going to stay there because of the foundational elements and those values of who we are and what we're all about. And so I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about where we are, but also the steps that are ahead. I'm not going to put any limits to what this team can accomplish, but I'm sure grateful for every experience that we get to be able to work through together.
Players at the end of the day, and if you're not producing on the field, nobody's going to want to, pay you any money off your NIL if you're not producing. So that's the main thing. And then obviously with the jealousy part, for me personally, I want to make sure everybody, as much as possible, can maximize, off their NIL. So whatever ways I can help my teammates and help them profit off their NIL and what they feel their value is. That's the whole reason Derek and I helped start Greenfield, to help these athletes set their rate, make it quick and easy and seamless between the businesses and them. That's what it's all about. And then obviously, like I said, football's got to be a priority.
McKenzie, your experience at UCF, what was your reaction to its relative for the college football playoff? I mean, you come at it from a pretty unique perspective.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think 12 is a good number. I'm not sure what the right number is, but I definitely think it needs to be more than 4. Year in and year out, I feel like if there's 12 teams in that playoff, any team can come out and win it. There's a lot of quality 2-3-loss teams in big programs like the SEC, and then you get the UCFs and the Coastal Carolinas of the world and the Cincinnatis of the world that are really, really, really good football teams. But they just don't get that opportunity the way it's set up right now. So I don't think it's a matter of if, I think it's a matter of when. So we'll see when that time comes.
To ask you about your friendship with the area, you just saw it kind of started when you guys met the first time.
Yeah.
How did you feel too?
Yeah, so we go back to our playing days. He was at Houston, I was at UCF, and it's been connected since back then. And obviously, I followed his journey, just what he's dealt with on the field, off the field, injuries and other trials and tribulations in his life. He's just considering all what he's been through, he's just a stand-up dude off the field, and then obviously admire what he did on the field too. He broke my conference touchdown record in the American back in 2018, and I still feel some type of way about that. But all jokes aside, I think he's a great player, great person, and someone I definitely want to align myself with now and furthermore. But at the same time, when we play each other, it's going to be on, and I'm excited to get that opportunity to play against him, because we never got that opportunity back when he was at Houston. I was at UCF, so super excited for him, super excited for myself, super excited for Greenfield, and what we're going to be able to do and how we're going to be able to help these college athletes monetize and do it the right way.
You say just kind of unique to have a Florida State quarterback in your French like this. Over the years of the rivalry, I don't know if there ever was something like that.
Well, there's never ever been anything like NIL either, you know what I mean? So to me, it's something bigger than playing. It's something that, it's been a disservice to college football players for a long time, not being able to monetize off their NIL. And, if Derek and I can come together and be part of something bigger than ourselves, that's what it's all about.
When the spring happened, what did you feel like you still had to work on? Because it was most football you've really played about 2.5 years. But what did you kind of take away when you reflected on those 15 practices and the new school, new coaches and all of that?
I think just dialing into the playbook more than anything, getting that chemistry down with my guys and whatnot. But other like playing football, I feel comfortable out there. I feel like I can make all the throws, I can run, I can jump, I can cut. Physically, I'm perfectly fine, but from spring ball to now, just dialing into the playbook, learning the ins and outs more than anything. Yeah.
How good a marriage is that, do you feel, between your skill set and the playbook and the offense?
I feel very confident in, what the coaches are asking me to do. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this season's going to bring.
What was it like getting to feel for Kenny Dillingham as an OC, a quarterback coach, and also a relatively young guy in that position?
Yeah, just getting to know him and his story is pretty crazy. The journey he's been on, considering he started as a freshman linebackers coach at a high school in Arizona, and worked his way all the way up to being the OC at Florida State at 30 years old. That's pretty crazy if you ask me. Had no connections in the business, and he got stuck with Coach Norvell, and that's a pretty good guy to be stuck with. And to me, he's one of the best offensive minds I've been around, if not the best. He's as good as they come.
Talk about the first game of the year against Notre Dame. Playing last week, their job. What's the experience like going to be against Notre Dame?
I can try and put myself in that situation, but I don't feel like, I feel those emotions until I'm there. So I'm super excited. I know a few of those Notre Dame guys because they're from back home, so I grew up with some of those guys. But super excited to play my first game in Doak. Hopefully it's sold out. I think it will be. And I'm going to just have fun with it. I'm going to just enjoy that moment and make the most of it.
What do you think about the Florida State Miami rivalry?
That's going to be fun. That's something I grew up watching. And I'm super excited for that one, but we just got to take care of business in fall camp, stay healthy, and then September 5th, that's all.
McKenzie, what do you remember about the FSU series growing up? And obviously you're friends with Derek, and UM is, I think, won the last one. Just your thoughts on that, what that's going to be like playing against Derek and your quarterbacks and stuff. The whole thing.
Everything I've heard about it, I just hear it's electric. A lot of these guys grew up with each other. Obviously, I didn't grow up in Florida, but it's cream of the crop. It's the best football in the country, and when Florida State's playing good and Miami's playing good, it's just good for college football. So hopefully we both have great years, and then we can meet up and we'll tug it out and we'll see who wins that game. But I'm super excited to see what our team brings, what they bring. But like I said, it's just better for college football when both those programs are playing well.
How often do you talk to Derek?
We talk pretty often. We're business partners. I say probably like once a week. We check in here and there. It's not always business. It's not always football. Just checking in on each other. But when we're playing that week, I doubt we'll talk that week. We'll probably talk after the game. Yeah.
You guys had some young offensive linemen playing last year. You weren't here, but they're young guys. What have you seen from those young offensive linemen since you've been here?
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised in the spring of, how they performed. And, I think the biggest thing is just being able to communicate with those guys, what I'm seeing, what they're seeing. And as long as we're all in one accord and what we're trying to do, I'm completely confident in those guys to get the job done and, give me time, give Jordan time, open up holes in the run game. We got a lot of talent, but talent only means so much. We got to come together as a unit because those 5 guys got to all be in sync, and I got to be in sync with them. The running backs, when we're a 6-man, the tight end, when we're in a 7-man pro. So to me, O-line's might be the hardest position to play, just because all 5 guys got to be in a unit. That's the biggest unit, doing something together. So I've been pleasantly surprised with those guys, and I think they're going to keep getting better, and I think they're going to be really, really good this year.
When a new guy like Dylan comes in, is there any way to evaluate like what he brings, or do you go back and watch anything, or just wait to see what you see in the fall?
Well, obviously you see the film, what he did at Notre Dame, and he's a seasoned vet, so he brings that level of experience like him. Guys like Devontae Taylor, Brady White, Brady Scott. Brady White was Norvell's QB. Brady Scott, our offensive guard. We got a number of guys that are seasoned veterans that can lead, and I think just having guys like that, knowing what it takes, seeing what it's like on winning teams, is good to bring in guys like that. Regardless if, they're going to be a future guy or not, having an experience like that is key.
Was there a point in last year where you kind of felt back your own self out there, or is it not even about that? It's not about comparing yourself for?
I feel good. I feel 100%. So I'm excited to see what the steps I make in fall camp. I wouldn't say last year, but I would say in spring ball and now. Getting back to that, I feel 100%. So last year, I just feel like it's more so getting my feet wet, getting back on the field and stuff like that. But I'm feeling really good.
With so many transfers in, so many freshmen, so many new faces, especially on offense, how long does it take to gel? Kind of get a rhythm and time and feel for one another. How are you going to operate as a unit?
It takes time. It definitely takes time. I don't know if there's a certain amount of time it takes. I think it's just you gotta do reps after reps, get in the film room with each other, be speaking the same language. So when I'm saying something, it's not going over somebody's head or vice versa. So, and that's from like I said, communicating with the whole line to the receivers, just being on the same page to the coaches, just talking the same language more than anything. And, like I said, we can have all the talent in the world, but if we're not on the same page, it's not gonna be good. So that's what we've been focused on this summer, just the fine details of things, and I like the direction we're headed in.
Was there a noticeable progression with that throughout the spring? And what about Andrew Parchment getting there late and being a key piece for you as a receiver? How do you kind of do that with player runs practices with such a small window to kind of integrate him?
Yeah, you just got to find those little things. You got to find that edge. If your body's not feeling great, maybe it's just getting in the film room and stuff like that. It's just we always harp on the little things, and I feel like our team's taking that into consideration and taking that to heart this summer. Just the fine details of what we're trying to accomplish.
There's a lot of talk about the Miami rivalry today. Not a lot of talk about the Clemson rivalry, especially with all the drama that was last year. You kind of got to play against yourself. Can you speak just a little bit to Devils for this program and what that game will mean to you when you get to go to Devils?
That was obviously, Coach Sweeney. I should call him Coach Sweeney. He's probably one of the best coaches in college football, and tons of respect for him and his program, what they've done over the past few years. Represented our conference extremely well, and super excited to go out there in Death Valley and give my best shot.
So how difficult is that to go from 24 straight starts to having that such a severe injury, emotion kind of getting through that? And did you ever think that was it at any point during that process?
It was a long process for sure. But I've definitely battled injuries through my career, even from high school. So that was obviously the first one. But I always felt like if I just chip away one block at a time, I'll be able to get back. And here I am, being able to play here in 2021. So there's definitely dark days where I feel, man, I don't know, just the setbacks that I had. Maybe it's not meant to be, but huge. Like I said in the press conference, man, the medical staffs that I had, they went above and beyond to help get me back out there. So it definitely wasn't just myself. Lots of prayers, were sent to me, and lots of hard work and man hours, not just by myself, but others investing in me. So definitely thought I'd get back to this point just because the time invested,
McKenzie, obviously you guys got close at UCF to being in the playoff in 2017 and 2018. Now there's talk about expanding to 12 teams.
Yeah.
Do you think that would be a good model for the future playoff, even though it may not impact you as all?
I'm not sure what the model looks like because I don't know how they would structure all the bowl games and whatnot. There could be something to providing incentives to players for playing bowl games because there's a lot of guys opting out due to injuries and whatnot. I think of a guy like Jalen Smith, almost lost his career for playing in a bowl game. It was a BCS bowl game, but it really didn't matter considering he'd be a first-round draft pick. So, I think there's going to be certain ways to do it. I think you get more guys not opting out if you make it a 12-team playoff. I think revenue will shoot up too. But it's got to be done right. I'm not sure the right way to do it, but I definitely think we should add more teams. Just it creates more drama. You think about a team like the New York Giants. I think it was in 2007 where they beat the Patriots. They're a wild card team. there's no wild card, then there's no New York Giants and the Patriots going undefeated. And Tom Brady's immortal. You know what I'm saying? So, I think we should definitely add more teams. I'm not sure the right way it should be, but in due time. Probably won't be this year.
McKenzie, in your first year at FSU, man, how much does this mean to you come into ACC Media Day representing FSU in your first season with the Seminoles?
It's a huge honor just to represent this team, this school. Plenty other guys on the team, like Devontae Taylor, Emmett Rice, they could have been here. Grateful that Coach Norvell chose Jermaine, Jordan, and I to be here. Just humble, man. Just to represent my team, and hopefully, I represent us with class, and I have a feeling, we'll have a great year this year. Just led by Coach Norvell and everything he's instilling in us.
And lastly, like watching Alex Smith last year come back from that knee injury. How important was that not only for you to see him being able to come back, take hits and things like that, or have you reached out and have you talked to Alex Smith about that process, and how was that watching that last year?
Yeah. I mean, Alex is a special human. Besides the comeback, just his mindset and everything he's about. Super special dude. He actually reached out to me a few months back, and I think a week later he got cleared, so it was pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
And then seeing him play and helping lead his team to the playoffs, that was super special. Hats off to him on a great career and a great comeback. His leg was probably worse than mine. Just seeing everything he went through. So, man, I've drawn a lot of motivation from other people throughout this whole process. Guys like him, Teddy Bridgewater, Jalen Smith, all these guys that have been through the fire and come back on the other side of it and been better for it. So, huge shout out to those guys. Just setting the standard and the example of you're not a product of what happens to you. It's about how you respond. So, shout out to those guys.
Thank you.
I can't remember exactly when I was notified. It had to be like a week or 2 weeks. But obviously, like I said, the team trusted me a whole lot. This team trusted me a whole lot. And it would be so selfish if I just took any of this for granted. So I take all of this very seriously. Even the things that you wouldn't think are that serious, they are to me because I'm entrusted with the responsibility that I am. So I can't mess up. And I've got to deliver on a big note in every way.
As a leader in the group, who are you seeing at defensive end or defensive tackle through strength and conditioning or workouts? Who's kind of emerging in your eyes?
You got Kier Thomas, Dennis Briggs, Robert Cooper, Fabian Logan. I mean, the whole defensive front is outstanding to me. Like I said, I come from Georgia. We have a bunch of defensive freaks over there. And now I'm here. We have a bunch of defensive freaks here. It's not even a big jump, and it's crazy to me because I feel like they don't get as much light as they should. And I'm excited for this year because all those guys get to show what they can do.
We haven't seen here because they didn't practice in the spring, but what can we see? What will we see?
I mean, if you just look at what the guy did his true freshman year in the SEC at South Carolina, I mean, it speaks for itself, and he's an even better player now, and he's getting healthy again, and I strongly believe he'll be ready for this season. You guys will not be disappointed at all.
Jermaine, is your role and your position is the same in this defense as it was at Georgia?
That comes in the position of scheme. The defensive scheme is different. But I feel this role, they're going to let me cut loose and they're going to let me do what I do best, and that's get after the quarterback. And like Coach Norvell said, I love stopping the run. I played at Georgia for 2 years, and they pride themselves on that. So I can't wait to just be an all-around player for this team.
One more thing I want to ask you about Georgia. They're talking this offseason about forming a better connection, like in the locker room amongst themselves.
Yeah.
Being that you were in the program for a couple of years, how was that aspect, and did you see that as an area to help them get better?
I haven't been there for quite some time, over half a year. I don't know what their locker room looks like now. I still talk to some of those guys like brothers, even guys that are in the league now, still talk to them. But I'm not sure what areas they need to work on. I haven't been there. A lot can change in 7-8 months. But I believe that they're going to fix and handle what they need to, for sure.
Jermaine, in your first year at FSU, man, how much does it mean to you that you got selected to come to ACC Media Day along with McKenzie, and what do you look to bring to this defense, in 2021?
It means a ton to me, man. For a team and a program to believe in me this much and trust me this much to come represent them on this level, it's second to none, and it makes me want to invest everything I've got in this team. I already do. I feel like you can ask every one of these guys. I bust my butt every day. And can you ask the second part?
On the second part of the question, on the defensive side of the football, I'm sure you're going to be moving around on the defensive line. What are you more comfortable? Are you more comfortable in that 7 technique, that wide 9 technique? Like, what are you more comfortable with doing on the defensive line?
I mean, I'm an all-around defensive end, so anywhere they need me to line up. I played some 4-eye at Georgia. I played, like you said, in the 9 technique. Anything around that edge is pretty much my forte. You guys will be excited this season for sure.
Awesome.
Are the two end positions similar or different?
The field end usually is the bigger end that mostly will rush the quarterback and kind of hand down kind of deal. The boundary end is more of the stand up kind of.
What do you feel people
I would say my arm. My arm mostly. I feel like I've been doubted a lot my whole career in college. But coming out of high school, I was not known as a runner at all. And it's kind of crazy that I've kind of transformed into that image and that title over me, running quarterback. I'm just trying to get out of that. So I'm just trying to get better every day. And just I have a chip on my shoulder and just trying to be better every day.
Jordan, how much does it mean to you to be part of the class that kind of turns this thing around at Florida State? The last few years haven't been what the FSU standard is. So how much does that mean to you to try to get this thing turned around?
It means everything in the world to me. I mean, I've been a Florida State fan for a long time. I'm a fan. I just want to see Florida State win. That's all I am. I'm a fan that gets to hop in the game and have a little bit of fun, push everyone else and try to get the W. So I want to see Florida State turn around really bad. And I think we have the guys that will make it happen. And you
got 12 guys in the transfer portal that you've brought in. You also bring in a whole new freshman class. Coach Norvell seemed to kind of transform this roster over the last few years. So, what can you guys do to like you said, turn around? What can y'all do out there? You beat North Carolina, a top 5 team last year. What can y'all do to improve and get what y'all want to do in 2020? Get your goals set.
Coach Norvell, we have the climb. It's called the climb, and it's commitment, little things, intensity, mental toughness, and brotherhood. So I think all those things right there are the most important parts of our team. I think we're starting to buy into that. Last year, we had a couple guys that bought in, others that did not want to buy in. And I think we finally bought in. The main thing for me is like the little things. Because the little things go far. Saying hello to the janitor when you walk into the building. I think those go a long way and they carry over into games. And then all the little things matter, like your assignments, technique, like little things that you were taught, they all matter. So,
Coach Norvell talks about offseason establishing identity. What is the identity of this team as you guys get ready for preseason camp?
The identity of the team is just a bunch of guys that want to win. Go out and give 100% every single game. And guys that are just willing to do whatever they can to win games and protect the guy next to you.
And that mental approach of being tired of losing, basically. Is it tough not to kind of cave in and just say, we're going to go out there and play? I'm not talking individually for you, I'm talking as a whole. Is it tough not to cave into, well, we are what we are, versus let's get better and become what we want to be?
I think we have kind of the mindset of let's just get better every single time. The losing mindset, I think it's out of a lot of people's head now. Last year, a lot of people were talking around the locker room, just losing. People were used to losing, and I think everyone's just so used to losing, and that was kind of the problem going on. So now, in our mindset, we win. That's the main thing is we want to win. We want to get better every single day, 1% better every day. And at that point, that's all you can do. You can be the best person and player you can be every single day.
Teams like Notre Dame, how do you handle the weeks of these steps it takes to stay mentally
I'd say you just have to take everything day by day. That's what I focus on every single day is just wake up in the morning and get ready for your day. I mean, those games we have, every single game is a tough game. We're in college, we're in ACC. Every game's tough. You never know what's going to happen. So we just got to go out and just give 100% every game.
Jordan, I've probably been asked this 10 times, so I apologize.
It's all good, no problem.
Good. I'm Susan Rodriguez with Mike Norvell. Just the FSU rivalry. Did you watch that growing up?
I did. Every game I watched. Every single game. I've been a Florida State fan for a long, long time. So, yeah, I watched it, and I look forward to playing them every year. So, I look forward to playing them this time.
Yeah. So, last year, what happened? I know the score.
Yeah, you're good. It was an unfortunate game. It didn't turn out how we wanted to, but we try not to focus on that type of stuff. We're getting ready for next year, and we have a lot of games to play, so we're just focusing on that.
Do you know anybody on the Hurricanes? I'm sorry.
I do. I know a couple guys. I know Gervin Hall, Amari Carter. I probably know a couple more.
How do you know those guys?
I played football with them in high school.
On the same high school?
No, ma'am. They went to Palm Beach Gardens.
Okay. And why do you think the rivalry, what does it mean to all the other guys? What's that like? I noticed it goes in spurts. You guys win 7 in a row or whatever it is. Miami wins 4 in a row.
Everyone's just trying to win games. You go through the ups and downs of years, and I think it just changes throughout the years. So I think this year, the year's coming. We're going to be a great team, so we look forward to playing them.
How happy are you that it's in Tallahassee this year? What kind of difference will that make?
It means a lot. We have the best fans in all of college football, and I mean that. We have people that are behind us, and I'm thankful it's in Tallahassee.
I know that your quarterback is, your other quarterback is friends with Derek King.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Do you know Derek at all? Or what do you think of that relationship, the NIL stuff?
Like they said, business is business. We're rivals at the end of the day, but I have one of my best friends plays football for Florida, Kyrie Elam. So, Florida? Yes, ma'am. So, we're playing football. So when it comes to football, whatever. After off the field, we're friends. Like we all have friends and rivals. Yes, ma'am.
The last question about leave. Bobby Bowden, I'm sure everybody's asked you, but what was your reaction? I'm sure you've met him, right?
I have not. He spoke to the team. I have not met him personally, but last year.
Before the season? Or?
We have a guest coach come speak before every game on Fridays, so he came and spoke to us.
Before which game?
I have no idea.
And what was it like when you heard the news?
It's very upsetting. My prayers are with his family for sure. He's a legend. He's done everything for Florida State, but having him speak to the team was great. Just having someone like that that's gone through a lot and has brought Florida State to where it is today. It was a blessing just to have him there, and my prayers are with his family.
What did he say in that speech?
He's just saying old experience, old stories about what's went on, and yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
And Jordan, bringing McKenzie in, he came in to compete with you, obviously, but how's that competition been with him? And, I'm sure y'all are friends off the field when y'all aren't competing, but, what's he brought to that quarterback room and to help you out? A guy who's competed so many big games at UCF, was 24-0 when he got injured. So what's it been like, working with McKenzie?
We're blessed to have him at Florida State. He's a great player, great person, carries himself very well. But the competition, like I said, the biggest competition is yourself. Every day I wake up, I'm competing with myself before I think about competing with anybody else. So right now, I think we're both focusing on ourselves. We know we're competing for a job, but I don't really care if McKenzie's behind the center or Tate, Chubba. I don't care. I just want to win football games, and that's my mindset going into every day.
Thank you, Jordan.
Yes, sir. Thank you.